bring in Democratic strategist Adrienne Elrod. She is also a former senior aide for the Biden-Harris campaign and former Republican Congressman Carlos Curbelo. He's an MSNBC political analyst. Okay, welcome to you both. Adrienne, I want to start with you because Speaker Pelosi, as we just discussed, landed in Taiwan. You actually traveled there, is my understanding, when you were chief of staff on Capitol Hill. A lot has been made about the timing of this trip. Why is this important now?
Oh, Simone, I think this is incredibly important. I mean, Taiwan, the people of Taiwan have been living under the threat of China for decades. And, China's constantly threatening them with, oh, if you become more democratic, if you align with more democratic countries, we're going to come after you. So this is a huge step forward in not only supporting, as Nancy Pelosi said, democracy over autocracy, but it's a huge sign of support. When I was there, I mean, I was, as you referenced, I was the chief of staff on the Hill. I traveled over with a delegation of staffers that was part of a U.S.-Taiwan partnership. But it's not very often that you actually see somebody of Leader Pelosi's stature traveling over there. I think it's, in fact, been 25 years since the speaker has traveled over there, a House Speaker. So this is a monumental step forward. It's sort of, ha-ha in your face, China. But it's about time that we do what we can and actually put our money where our mouths is and stand with the people of Taiwan, who all they want is to have freedom and have a full-on democracy and freedom from China.
I think that there are lots of people out there that agree with you, and this is a debate and conversation that will continue to go on for weeks and months to come. Congressman, let's talk about the killing of al-Zawahiri. Now, the Trump administration did take down ISIS leader al-Baghdadi and al-Qaeda chief al-Ramiri, but NBC News did report back in 2020 that then President Trump had the opportunity to take down al-Zawahiri, but did not because he was not familiar with the name. Congressman, what is your response to this latest takedown by the Biden administration and the fact that President Trump had the opportunity to get him but didn't?
Simone, this is a big deal for the Biden administration. We know the former president and Republicans generally have talked about how they're tougher on terrorism. And of course, it was George W. Bush who authored the war against terror. Well, now the Biden administration can project strength and competence and say, well, we were criticized about our withdrawal from Afghanistan. Of course, a lot of that criticism was fair, but here we are getting the job done for the American people in Afghanistan without having a true presence there. So I do think this is a big deal for the administration, and I think it's part of a little winning streak here that Democrats are putting together for most of the last year and a half. They've been against the ropes, and now you get the sense that they're picking up some momentum here. Certainly, this killing of the terrorists is a big deal. And I'll add to what Adrienne said. As a member of Congress, I visited Taiwan, and it's such a big deal for the people there to receive American politicians, especially someone as powerful, as important as Nancy Pelosi. So, again, I think also it's a projection of strength and of competence from the speaker. So I think Democrats have had a good couple weeks.
Strength is the word I keep hearing over and over again, and momentum as it relates to the last couple of days that the president has had. My question to you, Adrienne, is how does the White House keep this momentum up, right? Because a couple days, great. It is weeks of momentum that is needed to carry folks into the midterm elections.
Yeah, that's right, Simone. And it's great, though, that the momentum is happening right now because, as the congressman just mentioned, we are on a roll. Now we've just got to go out there and keep that momentum going. 3 major economic bills have been passed under President Biden. If the Inflation Reduction Act is passed, and it looks pretty likely that that's going to happen, that's going to be 4. Most presidents would dream of this kind of success, Simone, as you know, in the first 2 years. So now what do we do about it? Well, we got to go back to our districts. If you're a member of Congress, if you are a governor or a statewide elected official on the ballot and you're going to benefit from these measures, you got to go out there and sell it to the American people. Talk about this legislation in human terms. How is the CHIPS Act going to impact American families? How is the Inflation Reduction Act going to put more money in people's pockets? These are the things that we've got to go back and talk about, because it's one thing to do it, but it's another thing to actually go out there and sell this to the American people. So it can't just be on the president. The onus can't be just on the White House. It's got to be every member of Congress who's in cycle, and every member of Congress who supported this has so much to brag about. It's a really big deal.
I
couldn't be more excited, Simone. I couldn't be more excited for the president the past week and a half.
Your excitement is jumping through the screen, Adrian. I want to change gears, though, because I have to get y'all to weigh in on these missing Secret Service texts from the day of the insurrection. I don't even know what's really going on here. It's very fishy, okay? The Washington Post initially reported that the Department of Homeland Security watchdog agency called off efforts to retrieve these text messages from the Secret Service at the end of February. But now, Congressman Benny Thompson, chair of the January 6th committee, has an email that says the watchdog retracted the February 2021 request 5 months later in July. Now, the committee is asking the Deputy Inspector General for DHS to make himself available to testify by August 15th. Congressman, does it smell like a cover-up to you? What exactly is going on here?
Simone, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'll tell you, this is a major scandal. I wouldn't be surprised if months or even years from now, there were prosecutions as a result of what happened here. It's just way too coincidental that the texts that are missing are from those dates, and that, there was this migration onto different technology that caused this deletion. It just, even for the Secret Service, which is such a sophisticated agency, it's unbelievable that they would be so sloppy. And I think there's a whole lot to get to. We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
The tip of the iceberg. We will be staying on this story. Congressman Curbelo, Adrian Elrod, thanks to you both.